Patrick, you look at the Broncos on film, is there a lot they're doing different defensively than what they've done the last couple of years?
I mean, obviously, there's little things here and there they do a little differently, but I mean, they've been a good defense for a long time, especially with Coach Fangio there. I mean, if you look around the league, I mean, a lot of defenses have adopted or hit the style of defense he runs because he does it so well. So he's definitely has a great defense. They have great players, and it'll be a great challenge for us.
Did you do any specific study of the interceptions during the bye week, like what you might see as common denominators?
Not necessarily. I mean, I've seen them all. I mean, there's some where I'm pressing the issue a little bit more. Some are just bad luck. So I'll try to do whatever I can to try to limit those as much as possible because we know turnovers are such a big deal in this league.
A number have gone off of people, but on those, do you assume? Do you think there's a possibility that you could have done something different on those too?
Yeah, I mean, if you look back at the one with Travis, the Cowboys game, if I put the ball in front of him, he probably catches, breaks a tackle, and gets extra yards. But I threw it kind of on his back hip, and it got tipped up and intercepted. So, I mean, just because it hits them doesn't necessarily mean it's in the right spot for them to make the catch. So I got to make sure that I'm putting it in that right spot every time.
Patrick, you obviously, when you faced the Cowboys, you faced off against that rookie and Michael Parsons. When are you seeing it on tape, on film with Patrick Surtain that, knowing he's probably going to line up against Tyreek Sunday that will, make
Yeah, I mean, first off, I mean, he's physically, I mean, he has all the talent you could possibly want. I mean, he's tall, he's fast, he's big, he's physical. And then you could tell his dad was a player. I mean, you could tell those guys that they're smart, they understand the game. Even for a rookie, he has like a veteran mindset. And he understands what they're trying to do as a defense. So someone you definitely have to know where he's at every single play, and he's just getting better and better each and every week.
Patrick, 11 straight wins against the Broncos, dating back to 2015. How aware are you guys in that locker room of that streak? And then how much does that play psychologically as you go into this game?
Yeah, I mean, other than when you play this week and people talk about it, we're not really paying attention to it. I mean, we understand it's a whole brand new football team on both sides of the ball. It's a division opponent. It's always a big game against the Broncos, and we know it's going to be a great challenge for us. And, I mean, they won a couple games against us, too, so we know it's a big rivalry, and we need to go out there and play our best football.
During the bye week, the staff kind of dives into the film, a deep dive. What can you share that maybe Kafka and Bieniemy shared with you that you could improve kind of this final stretch here?
Yeah, I mean, I just got to continue to be great throughout all 4 quarters of games. I mean, there's been stretches every single game where I've made stuff happen, we've made drives kind of go, but there's just times where I try to push the issue too much or I don't push it enough. And so just finding that right median where you can go out there and be who I am, but still make sure that we're making positive plays every single drive.
Patrick, people always talk about how good Andy Reid is after a bye. What have you taken from him as far as like study habits or things like that you've added to your game?
Yeah, I mean, you go back, you look at the tape, and you evaluate yourself, obviously, and then you try to get a little bit of a jump start on the team that you're playing. And we have AFC West opponents, so we studied them a little bit in the offseason as well. So just having a good game plan, and Coach Reid gets that extra week, he really comes up with some nice plays. And, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just about going out there and executing, and we just seem to do a great job of that after a bye.
Patrick, after the Cowboys game, you identified third downs as something you wanted to work on during the bye. I'm wondering, you guys lead the league in third downs. I'm wondering why you identified that and then how that process went this last week.
Yeah, I mean, you want to – I mean, the great offenses in history and obviously today's age they really do a great job of third downs in the red zone. And so I just feel like in these last few weeks, I mean, here and there, we just didn't execute at a high enough level in certain parts of the game on third downs. And so we went back, and just like every week, we kind of evaluate that, try to find plays that we know we can have success with. And then at the end of the day, the players are going to go out there and make plays, and I think we have the guys that can do it.
You mentioned a specific type of defense you're seeing. I'm wondering if that's a type that you've seen in the past.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's just we just got to continue to execute. I got to just like the throw to Kelsey. I mean, we get guys open. I have to make sure I throw it and put it in the right spot, especially against man coverage, where they can make the catches and we can move the chains. And so, I mean, we do a great job of it of really breaking it down. It's just about really executing when it comes down to it, especially at this time of the year.
I'm sure you're aware how the guys on defense over the last few weeks have said how much health and everybody playing together as a unit has made an impact on that side of the ball. This might be the first chance for you guys to get just about everybody back healthy on offense. Just what do you think that could do for that side of the ball as you guys move towards the stretch run of the season? Yeah, I mean, I think guys have done a great job of stepping up in their roles. But as you continue to get more and more guys back, you just continue to have that extra little edge. You get to continue to have that mindset of we're going to go out there and be who we are. I
I think that as well as knowing that we got to go now. I mean, you're in a tight division in the AFC West. You're playing a lot of division opponents coming up, but it starts this week with the Denver Broncos. I mean, you just have to have that mindset of we need to be our best if we want to go out there and win the AFC West.
Patrick, you certainly demonstrated a social consciousness, and I'm curious if you followed the story of Kevin Strickland very much, and if so, do you have any thoughts about his release last week?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the story a little bit. Obviously, it's terrible that he was in jail for that long, being an innocent man. But I'm glad that he's out now, and hopefully that his release can be a kind of a thing that doesn't let people get in that same situation that he was in and lose a big part of their life, pretty much.
Patrick, this is a very random question, but working on a story about fans that travel. For you, when you're in Vegas, for example, and there's Chiefs fans everywhere, what does that do for you guys?
Yeah, no, it's super exciting. I mean, when you have that fan base with you, and then you go out there and you can kind of feel that energy from them supporting you. And then just like in Vegas, when we started winning the game, you can start hearing them creep louder and louder. I mean, it really is a cool feeling, and not every fan base has it. So I'm glad I'm in Chiefs Kingdom, and we're traveling everywore we play.
Another off the field thing, just how was your first bye week as a dad and getting to spend Thanksgiving with your daughter?
Yeah, it was awesome. I think you probably saw the tweet when I was talking about being a dad. It's cool, and I mean, just when you're in season, you get to see her, but she's asleep a lot. When you get home, you're getting home late and stuff like that. But when you're there for that bye week and you're sitting around with her all day and you're just playing and seeing how much she's grown, she's crawling now, so she's moving around everywhere. It's really cool just to watch because she changes every single day, and I mean that was super important to me, and to be able to see her moving around, it was cool.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you.